Good afternoon. This is session 3 of day 5 of the 2023 Australian Open right here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. It is women's singles action continuing, and it is Tasmania's Gail Thow against Hong Kong's CP Ng. Really looking forward to this contest, and both of which in section 1, they might be out of proceedings, but you never know. Next best qualifiers will come into it later on in the tournament. Val Febo here with you. Nick Hine joining me as he has done for the past couple of days. Nick, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Val. Good afternoon to everybody who's tuning in promptly on the stream. You must have your notifications on and be following Bowls Australia. As I've suggested, on our way to 1 billion followers.
1 billion followers.
We're still several hundred million short, but we're in for an exciting game here. Hopefully, I'm seeing two players who are yet to trouble the scorers in this contest, in this section. But, look, a chance for them to go and take their first win here at the Australian Open.
Yes, so CP Ng, her first loss was to Sandra Connolly of Moama, 21-11. And second up, she fell to Joanna Cooper, 21-4. And Gail Thow fell to Joanna Cooper, 21-6. And then Sandra Connolly, 21-11. So both of their net shots probably aren't good enough and won't be good enough as the horn goes off. So, it probably is an inconsequential matchup here. But as we do apologise for that's first camera there. But, inconsequential probably, Nick, but looking forward to this contest. We haven't really had too much from Tasmania so far, and definitely haven't had a representative from Hong Kong on our stream yet. So great to see them, and great to see CP. She's very vibrant. Both of them seem really happy to be here, and seem like a really good duo.
Two great personalities, and as you say, the diversity of this competition. You know, we're seeing people from all around Australia and all around the world, as we're seeing Gail Thow with a pretty good starter.
Yep.
First end of the match. So
Gail Thow with those light blues. She will be the red paddles. The darker blue bowls of CP Ng will be the darker blue and white will be the dark blue paddles. Joe Franzi will be our marker yet again. As CP, well, she starts pretty well.
We've been very fortunate, Val, so far the last few days that we've had some fairly different bowls, but this is the first time that we've run into ones that look quite similar. Certainly in live, they look very similar, but on the screen, you should be able to tell fairly clearly the dark bowls of CP are quite prominent there, and sitting currently jack high and shot. As always, if you're a fan of these players, or you play in the regions, or you play in Hong Kong that they represent, do jump in the chat, do jump in the comments. Let us know where you're watching, who you're cheering for, and perhaps what your favourite moment has been in the first 5 days here, because we've had some cracking games, some great moments. And it's something that I've been really excited to be a part of, Alvaro.
Yeah, it's been great to have you here, Nick, and I believe this might be your last session with us.
Sadly so.
Across the Australian Open. So, yeah, we do thank you for your company over the last couple of days. It's been a pleasure to have you back on Rinkside Live. And, yeah, it's we're sort of chopping and changing through a few people. It'll be Paul Holschke with me tomorrow. Kyle Langley will be busy playing, but they had a good win early up in their pairs. So, let's see what Kyle can conjure up. He's joined us the last couple of days. So CP Ng holding on so far. And the ladder at the moment in section 1 of the women's singles has Gail at minus 25 shots in third position with no wins, and CP with minus 27. So either of these two would be pretty desperate to get on the score sheet.
Well, no one wants to go home without a victory in the singles.
No.
I'm surprised. I'm looking at both of these players. They both have beautiful, smooth deliveries. I think they must have been either unlucky or have run into some pretty good opposition, because this is a great bowl here. Look at this, Gail Thow.
Brilliantly done. And, yeah, Joanna Cooper from Canada from what I hear, very good. And Sandra Connolly from Moama, we know Moama has a very high pedigree in not just Australian bowls, but world bowls.
Pete Williams watching from sunny Launceston. I don't believe you, Pete, but good luck to you if it is sunny in beautiful Launceston today.
Well, Kyle Langley, I can inform you, just have a look at that score again. He and his uncle, William Henrissy, defeated Stephen and Barry Crane 21-15. They have gone 2-0, and the latter has them on top. So the next pairs, or the next team or opponents, will be Steve Toms and Ken McKenzie. Steve from New Zealand and Ken from Queensland. So there's an opportunity there for Kyle to progress into the knockout stages.
Well, maybe you won't see him again, Val.
We might not.
If he's through the knockouts, he could be playing in an Australian Open final, as anybody could be.
If we get it, I am desperate for the Broadbeach United Soccer Club to get him an honorary membership.
Perhaps a special Broadbeach United Bowls shirt made up with, of course, the
NMP
BA logo on there.
Yep.
NMP, yeah.
So, got one so far to Gail Thow in this contest. Sorry, we did forget to allude you to what the scoreboard was, talking about Kyle Langley's exploits. But back to the action here at Broadbeach, and Gail with an absolute bomb in her opening end to start things off.
Well, they both played some excellent bowls. CP was, she drew a very good shot, but was outdrawn with a ripper from Gail Thow, who I see she's wearing a Northwest Tas representative shirt. So the three playing regions of Tasmania, the south, the north and the northwest. And she's, of course, at Penguin Bowling Club, which I've mentioned. The Penguin Pairs is one that I've got on the bucket list.
Yep. You've said that a few times, so need to get down there, I reckon, Nick.
Well, if I'd had a bigger bet with you on results of games or certain people coming on Rinkside Live, I might have been a chance, but
maybe
we're only wagering
a
bagels at
and
the
you're
moment.
done, so not going to have to worry about that now. Damien, no, Val isn't short for anything. Can put that one to bed. Just the V, the A, and the L. I get that all the time. Now, Etienne Van Rooyen joining us again. Nice way to start an early morning in Pretoria, South Africa. Cup of coffee and bowls. What's your coffee of choice, Etienne? I'm a bit of a coffee snob, so I love a bit of coffee. CP just drifting underneath there, and this would probably be the fastest the Greens would be running all day, I reckon.
Yes, we've seen the last game. I spoke actually with both our competitors from the last game at the
Ellen
conclusion.
and Lynn.
And yeah, well, look, I spoke with Ellen particularly, who she really struggled once the wind got up. And I mentioned a few times on the stream that there is a reason for that, and the way that the wind, especially from the west, funnels behind the club. And she said, I wish you'd told me. And I said, well, your fans are here. They could have been tuning into Ringside Live, but they weren't. And it was to their detriment. But Ellen, we hung on.
We're not here to give tips. We are unbiased.
Oh, I've been a little bit biased today. I was really, really rooting for Ella in the first game. But she's 12 years old.
Yeah.
It was her first appearance. I think she had the support of most of the fans.
I think so. I felt sorry for Laureen Smith, who was probably walking out, and a lot of people probably wanted Ella to get a bit closer. But look, she played really well. What can CP conjure up here? She's taken a bit more grass. And we know these XGs turn.
Does need to. It gets back really hard at the end there. You can see that bowl's really finished, but weight was just a fraction over. Joe's having a good look at this. It's one red, which is one to the light blue bowls of Gail Thow.
Yep, the dark blue bowls of CP are the red paddles. Oh, sorry, the dark blue paddles, sorry. Getting myself confused now.
I told you this would happen.
Yeah, that's okay.
We've been blessed, as I say, with so many diverse and disparate colours, but today it's a bit more challenging. Gail Thow on a good line. She's only got to beat the back one I favour, and that
moved
could be
late. has fallen back.
Could
but
be two. No, Joe's stuck 2 red paddles in the air.
Joe Franzi, of course, was on our stream a couple of days ago against Steve Eaton. Went 3-0 in his singles section, so he will be featuring in the knockout stages. Broadbeach native.
Well, he's not a native. I just discovered that he grew up in Canberra. But now calls Southeast Queensland home. And why wouldn't you, especially this time of year? Looks to be 2 here to Gail Thow. She's off to a good start here.
Yep,
Lots of Tasmanians coming in, Val. I'm just noticing here we haven't heard a lot from our Tasmanian viewers so far.
We have now. They're very proud. And just a quick one, we had Ella Hipworth. We thought we'd give a bit of an update for her and how she played in her second match. She went down to Judy Monks from Urunga, like Lynn Tarrant, but it was 21-8. So played really well in her second match, and that is to Gail Thow, who moves ahead 3-0.
Yeah, she'll keep improving. At 12 years old, this is going to be some of the best experience that you can have, whether you're 12 years old or 83 years old, as we mentioned this morning.
Patricia Weeks.
First time here, Patricia Weeks, at the Australian Open at 83. I bet she's going to have enjoyed herself and wish she was here when she was 12.
100%. But yeah, really impressed by the bowlers, really impressed by the crowds. Look at the people gathering on the bank here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club, situated right near the beach, not too far from surfers, and there are a plethora of restaurants available for you to go and enjoy yourself at night here in Broadbeach on the main strip.
Yeah, look, it's a fantastic destination. Whatever you're coming here for, family holiday, for a bowls holiday, for a Val Febo meet and greet, whatever you're here for.
I don't think too many people are going to be lining up to talk to me. If they did, I'm happy to have a chat, but I doubt it.
You had to go and get your lunch from another venue today. They were accosting you that heavily, the fans.
We kid, but it is, no, the bagel place was just calling my name. It's more of a brunch today.
I had a beautiful Caesar salad
and
just something a bit light. Been feeling a bit heavy with some of the consumption that's been going on this week. Patrick Cashin saying playing at Tom is some of the best possible practice. Really enjoyed them as a junior and learnt a lot from them, particularly when thrown in the deep end of skipping when winning the tournament was out of the question. Had a lot of fun doing so.
Well, that's exactly right. And this is what the tournament is. You're only paying $50 an entry, and you're
Great
getting...
bowl here.
It certainly was from CP Ng, but it certainly is, because you look at what you can do and the ability to have a bit of singles practice, which you might not get at your club. But then you head on, and Lynn Tarrant said to me before after the match that she's not really a singles player. And she's happy that she didn't disgrace herself. And, these are the opportunities, and she certainly didn't. She was brilliant.
No, both players can hold their heads high from our last stream game. Lynn Tarrant and Ellen Weir, they both really gave a great example of the toughness that you need to win a singles match against well-matched opponents. And we've been very fortunate that the 3 days that I've been with you, Val, that almost all our games have been really good tussles. We're watching CP here on her backhand. Seems to have found her range a bit better on this hand, as she just needs to collect that bowl. Yeah, she's made 2. Very nice. Beautiful delivery. There's a few commenting on CP Ng's delivery here. Ray Mitchell.
Tom Blow telling us to go and see the Singing Chef at the Vault in Broadbeach. Where's the Vault? Not walked past that, or maybe I haven't seen it. Gail looks to send another one into the head. I like this line a bit better, but we know her bowls are getting down. Let's see if she's got the weight. Gail Thow mightily close, but it won't be enough. So this will be a collect here to CP Ng.
Well, free kick here. If you can make it 3, that'd be a great response after dropping the first 2 completed ends. As indicated, so in the top right-hand corner of your screen, That's how many ends are completed. So after 2 ends is 3-0. It could be 3-all here, but that bowl's just going to crash into the front. No damage done.
So, 2 I'm feeling here. Joe Franzi will wait for the 2 combatants to get down the other end. Great to see CP here from Hong Kong.
Well, there's a number of foreign competitors here, Val, who are getting a bit of practice in ahead of a fairly big event that's coming up in just a few weeks, isn't it?
Yes, August 29, the World Bowls Championships. But I don't think CP is part of the Hong Kong team.
Just great to see the participation, though, from all across the world, as well as all across Australia. We've had a number of Canadians feature prominently so far.
Yep, New Zealanders.
And we're now live on the big screen at Woonona Bowling Club. Lovely to be coming to you guys there. Beautiful club, beautiful services you've got.
Yeah, so CP will not feature at the World Championships, so she's just here enjoying herself, and great to see.
Well, she's managed to stick the jack on the tee. She'd rolled it, and it only just, Joe Franzi was watching it very closely because it went right near the ditch at the end. And, of course, if the jack does go in the ditch, it gets sent back and your opponent will be given an opportunity to roll it to their length. But it hung around and went on the tee. But CPN with her first bowl was just a little too quick, and she won't be the only one to lose one in the ditch this afternoon because this green is flying.
It certainly is. So all the women's singles matches or sections are going to regularity or proceeding as we thought. Kelsey Cottrell looking pretty good. Christina Christic as well. Jamie Lee Warsnott. Cass Millerick might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, not many surprises yet.
Yep.
She's one who's at risk. Serena Bennell is another one who's at risk.
Tash Van Eldick, from her 2 matches at Robina, she's only dropped 5 shots.
Wow, that's a very impressive performance.
Yep.
This is a fairly impressive effort. Gail Thow.
But CP's bowl has fallen over.
Interesting, they're both favouring the backhand going this way. We saw in the last game that Lynn was really keen to play the forehand.
Same with Ellen, though.
And use the wind to help get the bowl back. But
how's this line?
the breeze has moderated, and it's a good track.
It's gone past. She wanted it to stay up, and it does. 1 at the moment to CP Ng. 3-2 the score.
It's a great camera angle there. We see Gail, and she's chasing this one.
Yep.
Oh, I think she likes it.
She does. And it hasn't darted off. It has held. Will it do its best work late like we know those bowls can do? And unfortunately, it's not like Nick Hind after 9.
Yes, I'll be doing my best work after 9 o'clock, farting and snoring. In bed as well. Not out and about. CP a chance to make 2 here. Even a little trail can make a 3rd. She's out in a very high line, though.
Yeah, this one's not getting back. So that'll be scores level. 3 apiece.
Well,
no,
hang on. You're going off early.
I am.
You need to do your best work a little bit later.
Yes, I do. Forgot there was one more to come.
One to come. Look, our view is obscured here. We're almost surrounded.
Oh,
here at
no,
the
there
card
is one
table.
hidden away there, yes.
We're almost surrounded here at the card table, and the fans are flocking in to enjoy the hospitality here at Broadbeach, and they're also flocking in to enjoy the great games that are on offer. Some of the Australia and the world's top players here at Broadbeach today.
So, Gail Thow. She wants it to hold out. This might be a little bit better. Gail Thow she got a little nudge. And both of those bowls go into the ditch, so inconsequential there, but it'll be one to CP. And we go to 3 apiece after 4.
Almost got the jack there, Val. It was really close, but once again, just a little bit overweight. I didn't mind that weight for the shot, though. You had to be reaching. You were nothing for short. And, look, if you trailed it all the way to the ditch, it would have made 2.
It would have. So, fairly even start to this contest. Have enjoyed all the action at the 2023 Australian Open so far. AP are proud to support the event volunteers and officials. Of course, a big thank you to Tourism and Events Queensland, the Queensland Government and the City of Gold Coast, Major Events Gold Coast as well. Everyone jumping on board with this wonderful event that is the Australian Open. I hope you've all enjoyed it from wherever you're watching around the globe. And I hope that things continue to whet your appetite as the events move into their knockout stages.
And still plenty of events to come as well. There's men's fours action. There's some over 60s action to come.
Yep, women's fours action as well.
Women's fours. Yeah. There's so much. So much on this first week is absolutely jam-packed, Val.
Sure is.
Watching Gail, she snuck down, and I'd say she snuck into the count there. That's going to be number 1. CP, I think, whoever her coach is, you can give yourself a rap. It's a beautiful delivery, and it's a beautiful result here, isn't it? Oh, wow. Just snuck past.
We know they're moving. I'm still favouring this could be one to Gail.
Yeah, Gail holding shot, as indicated. See Joe Franzi put up his fist to say, "You're holding."
So what has Gail got? She was very close to securing that last end as well. Oh, the line was good. The weight just needed to be a little bit better.
And now we see Joe with the paddle confirming it. So the markers are instructed, Val, that they're not to indicate who has shot using the paddles until both players have put 2 bowls down. So our eagle-eyed viewers, I expect somebody may have noticed that, as we have a bird perched on one of our cameras.
Yep.
So long as it doesn't do its business.
Do not leave any excrement, please.
Well, CP Ng has just drawn what I favour to be shot.
That is shot.
Yes, it
Joe
is.
Franzi favours it as well. This bird is still there. No lipid residue, please.
Fortunately, there's no feathers getting in the way of the action here. Gail sticking to the forehand. She's got a few to land there, but I think she's a bit high. And probably a bit hot too. Colin Bray's here, Val. He's had internet problems.
He said that.
But
Lockie was trying to set up his own phone here on Switch Up to try and catch this bird on our perch, but it flew away as soon as he was about to go live.
Well, that's the best way of getting rid of a bird.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to get rid of something, you can probably get out there and try to take a photograph of it or film it. Now, while CP might be a bit disappointed that she hasn't got that one in there, that probably closes off a lot of the desirability with the forehand here for Gail Thow.
It does, because if there is any sort of movement of Jack, That's a 3 to CP.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but even on the forehand now, there's this dark blue bowl in front. That can get the green's running quick enough that can get bumped up and potentially make another one. I think she's still got to stay there though, because like you say, Val, if Gail Thow were to play backhand here,
it could spell absolute danger.
Well, yeah, if you drag the jack across,
and it's not what she wants after going 3-zip up. Damage limitations, I guess. It was, Colin, a career-threatening internet disruption. No, you're excused. He's a good man, Colin Bray. Copped a tough section in the men's singles. Sydney J. Bean, Carl Healy and Kobe Cromie. Now, Gail Thow needs it to get down, needs it to work. And that'll be no harm done. It'll just be the one. They're going to look, but I reckon this would just be one.
Well, that was the risk, though, playing that hand. The weight that she ended up playing, had she been a bit narrower, Gail Thow, that dark blue bowl there at 10 o'clock could have come into the count. But it looks as though she's going to concede, yes, and it is one shot.
CP Ng takes the lead for the first time so far. 5 ends played in this contest. And it's a 4-3 buffer. We move into the later afternoon on day 5 of the Australian Open for 2023. Day 5 of 14. Still 9 days to go. All of the events that take place. Obviously, the men's and women's singles are the blue ribboned events, but pairs, fours, under 18, boys and girls singles, over 60s, men's and women's pairs, the para disciplines, of course.
Yes, I know there's a lot of prestige involved with the men's and women's singles, as you suggest, Val, but I'd be happy with any of those titles.
Me too. You would not be complaining because any event that you win, you can call yourself an Australian Open champion.
It's a select group. Not too many slouches have got their hands on an Australian Open title. Great bowl here from Gail. Little kiss of the jack on the way through.
Colin Bray says Carl Healy's a top bloke. That he is, and he sees that Sydney J. Bean got through in the pairs, which he did. I'm a founding member of his fan club with Kyle Langley. Kyle has left the fan club. He's in part of the Frank Lim fan club.
I was
now.
going to say the number one ticket holder. There could have been a bit of robust debate about who was going to get that, but given Kyle's resigned his membership.
So, Gail just asking where things are situated in the head.
She's been most vocal so far, hasn't she, Val? Like, really, we've seen a lot of the players haven't made the markers work too hard. Gail's really pumping Joe Franzi for information here. So we know it's one to the darker blue of CP Ng,
who has lifted. It was an interesting first couple of ends for her, but see how we go.
Well, she's got the mat and she's got the length, and she's been able to play almost exclusively on this backhand, which she seems to be favouring.
She has. It's
one in, one out, but it's the only thing that's done, Val, is that's fattened up the target a little bit, because Gail can now rest that dark blue bowl, or if she's a little bit wide,
sit for 2.
The jack, she can sit about, but if she's a little bit wide, the jack goes back to her own light blue bowl there. And given the form she's shown earlier, I think Gail's going to back herself for this.
She was close the last time we bowled to this end. So we have The ibises get near our table as well. A bin chicken.
They're just checking us out.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's played the wrong hand here, mate.
Yeah, I tend to agree, but let's see what it does. And the weight's not terrible, but no, it wasn't. It was
had to be past the head though.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if she wasn't she wasn't trying to defend with her first against the. There is a number of dark blue bowls out just in front of. I'll go back to that picture in just a moment as we watch the beautiful delivery. There's a number of dark blue bowls in front of Gail's right knee there. Maybe she was trying to defend them before she attacked, but you know, you're down shot. You've only given yourself now one chance to do something with it. It is only one.
She had a couple, but look, I'll back her in to do it because she was so close last time out. Good to have everybody's company.
Andrew Howie's coming past and he's giving some polite advice. Being a very well credentialed bowler that he is.
No, he's done a wonderful job, has Andrew Howie.
Oh, Gail's flipped it over here. That's the right decision.
Yep.
So what sort of weight she's playing with?
It'll get there, but will it hold? That's the question. I think this is going to drop underneath. Will she crash in on her own? No. Yes.
Well, she's got very lucky Val Febo. But as we've said time and time before, luck starts when you reach the head. Andrew Howie's having a chuckle. That's exactly the bowl he would have played.
I've gone the early crow, got it wrong completely, and
Andrew Howie called that. He was going to wick off the front bowl and fall in for shot. It's exactly the shot he would have played, and was very proud of Val for agreeing with him. And look, now it's a measure for two now because
that is so lucky.
What it did do is it didn't just nudge the jack down the line a fraction.
Exactly, and now, CP would be rightfully displeased with that result.
It is just the one.
Still, scores tied, but that can be demoralising if you're on the other end of that. But I think she can take the positives that she made her, or she put her in the position where she had to defend. You know, she got the result, but
look, Gail Thow, she played with the right weight. Yeah, there was a lot of fortune in that, but when you play with the correct weight, you give yourself the opportunities for good things to happen. And look, that was a good thing that's happened for her. She now has the mat back. She now has control of the length. And she's moved the mat right up away from where they have been playing. I think the way that she conducts herself, she seems to be a very experienced singles player. She's been asking a lot of questions of the marker. She's changed the length now straight away once she's got it back. She gives away, and I'm sure somebody on the stream will tell us, that she's won 10 Penguin major singles titles and she's a district champion and all sorts of things. But they've both got beautiful deliveries, and there we go. We can see it there. She's got plenty of capability.
Certainly does. And Gail Andrew asking, why is it while watching this on TV you can't see the scores? Well, might just be the dimensions of the TV because it enlarges if you're casting or connecting up. So, might just be the dimensions. If you can change that around on your TV, I think you can change those settings.
But we'll keep you updated. It is 4-all.
After 6. So this is a really good start to the end. CP has wrestled shot back.
You think?
I reckon she has.
There might be another bail coming out here in a moment, but I'm sure this will change, so we won't get the chance to.
Because Gail Thow, it's going to come under, but they're giving these a chance. Really good to see these two. It's not been the easiest day for them, but still producing good quality bowls, and that one's going to come around the back.
All right, we will get a chance here. The indication is that it's a... Joe Frunzy saying they're both about 16 inches behind. She's got a bit of spirit here, Carl. She said, just because I'm old, I can't quite hear you, but they're having a great time.
Good character, Gail. We spoke to her a little bit before, and
she's hunting this
very
one.
Funny. This looks good. No, it's going to come under. But is it the shot?
2 is the signal. So I think I've done myself out of another bagel there.
You've.
I was on CPN. I'll have that delivered to you at 4 a.m. Well.
No, I was also on CP.
Oh,
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, right. Oh, if we agree, then why are we arguing?
I'm not sure. And CP comes underneath.
We'll go to the tapes. I'll listen back to that one. Maybe I'm glad you agree with me. Nicholas, we're saying looks like it's running about 17 now. You're probably about right there.
It'll start to slow down once those 3 o'clock shadows come over the top of the green.
Yes, mine is starting to come out. I did trim up the mustache and the beard a little bit last night, but it's probably getting a bit scruffy towards this hour of the afternoon. Do you get a 3 o'clock shadow, Val, if you have a shave? When was the last time you were seen clean shaven?
Clean shaven? Oh, a long time ago. I think I did it once last year and walked in and Rach laughed because I look like a 12-year-old and that was it.
Never again.
I've got a baby face, so back to the bowls though. This one's wide. So one opportunity left for CP to gain the score back. Does she go now?
No, the forehand. Like I know she's preferred the backhand.
Yeah, but do you go backhand and bring that jack out because there's an opportunity for her to get, a 4.
I think the way that the head's set up here, she's more of a chance of bringing in one of those, another one of those front bowls of Gail. She can draw on the forehand. Even if the jack goes down the line, she can still make 2.
I think she's coming on the backhand.
But she might be listening to our streaming, Val.
She might just
Secret
be.
Earpiece.
And she was tight before, needs to trust the grass. And I tell you what, this might be okay. Bit quick. And, there's no doubt who's got shot now.
Well, with that weight, it was all right because there was that other bowl got pumped out of there. But it demonstrates the risk that I mentioned. Was that
it does.
If you contact that front bowl, that it might have come in. But I think it's cut it down to 1. The way that Gail's looking at it. Yeah, she's only asking for 1 shot.
And CP, I'm sure, would duly oblige. 5-4, the lead to Gail Thow against CP Ng.
Through 7 ends here. 5-4 it is. The Tasmanian Gail Thow representing Penguin Bowling Club and CP Ng from Hong Kong. Locked in a tussle here. They both had 2 defeats in the opening 2 rounds of this section number 1 of the women's singles. But you can go through on results.bowlslink.com.au or on the Bowls Now app. Catch all the results from all the sections of all the events.
And you'll be able to find out that Kelsey Cottrell has won her 3rd match of the day, 21-0. rampant form.
Did Andrew Harry put those scores in before she even went out on the green? Or
No.
No,
No,
Kelsey's still in imperious form.
Yep.
Damien Cressinger asking, are they the Penguins? I don't know. I'm sure someone from the club will tell us.
You'd hope so.
Come on, Penguins.
Now, Natasha Van Eldick is the only person that can kind of lay claim to defending a singles title at the Australian Open, because in 2019 she won it. No 2020 event due to COVID, and 2021 she won it again. So that's a title defence in my book.
That's 2 in a row.
Yep. That is a title defence. So Kelsey looking to just become the second person to do so.
And add to her, increasingly impressive resume, Kelsey Cottrell. What hasn't she done, Val? Maybe the Penguin pairs. She might not have won the Penguin pairs yet.
So this end still up for grabs. Both of these two winless so far will be looking to get on the board to finish their AO singles campaign. Not willing to flinch at all.
The Penguin 2 Blues, Mandy Compton is telling us.
It's not a bad effort from Gail Thow.
Well, this is very similar to what we saw in the last game, Val, where playing the forehand heading towards the south, we are still, there's a little bit of breeze out of the west, and the bowls are finishing across the head consistently. Players, they need to identify that what's happening to them is the same thing that's happening to their opponent, and it's the same thing that they're both going to have to adjust. The first one to do so might just get on a little run here. It's good weight from CP.
But how's the movement out that way?
Well, at the end, it's in the last metre of travel, it's gone a metre across the green.
Not sure what I'm favouring for shot. That might be it. That is not bad at all, but then again, same thing.
See that last metre, a little bit of breeze.
Doing their best work late, Nick Hind.
It's a little bit late in life for me to be doing my best work late. When I was your age, did some of my very best work on the Gold Coast when I was your age.
Were you a toolie?
No, I came here when I was 18 years old. I came here. I did 2 weeks of schoolies. And then didn't come back for many, many years. But I love it now. I could live here very happily.
It's a great part of the world, and big thank you to Major Events Gold Coast and Tourism and Events Queensland for helping us put this one together, because it is.
Sorry, Val, I know you've got reads to get in, but we've got the great bowl. That will be number 1.
It will be. CP back on the scoreboard. I reckon
it's 2.
Which one are you favouring here?
The one at 3 o'clock there.
At 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
The one at 5. Yeah, might be.
2 shots.
2.
Joe Franzi, we're well connected, Joe and I. We know what we're talking about.
Telepathic. So the lead back to CP.
It's a good seesawing battle this so far.
It is.
Like I said, I think they're pretty evenly matched. They both look like very capable singles players, and they'll both be wanting to finish with a flourish here. Day 5.
6-5 the score to the Hong Kong native. And really interested to see who can gain the ascendancy, because when you think one might have it, the other just plucks in. And we've only seen what the 3 multiples scored across the 8 ends so far.
Mm. Yeah, you're exactly right, Val. And while we've had some very good heads, there's been a couple that have been a little bit loose, and I think both players will feel entitled to have shown some more consistency so far. Yeah, no one's played badly, but
Yep.
they would both wish to just have had a little bit more consistency. Now, let's see how this one gets back, because it is coming through the shadows now. But it is the wider hand. Oh, that's a lovely bowl there. Gail Thow. Seeing Ellen Weir shaking her head on the rink next door. She can find a camera. The Hampton player. She's had 2 games on RINKSIDE, and then the last game of the day she's here on Rink 23.
Yeah. She knows how to find it, that's for sure. So Gail Thow holding the ascendancy in this end so far. Been very, very even this contest.
I wonder if her and Merv were in the same room, who'd find a camera better. Merv Ford knows where the camera is, doesn't he?
Gail Thow.
Oh, Gail.
Coming back with a gale force there.
We're not starting these again, are we?
I have to do it once. I'm contractually obliged to do one every match.
Look, when you're on the big bucks that you are, you best honour that contract.
So
CP, she's stuck it out wider on this hand. That's out wider than the rink peg.
With the shadow, it's probably not going to come back that far.
Well,
we saw this ditch side play a few tricks.
there's still that bit of
yesterday.
breeze. I stuck my hand out from behind the Bowls Australia marquee here, and there's still a good gust of wind coming up behind the greenkeeper's sheds. Did some of my best work behind the greenkeeper sheds too, Val, but as it turns out. But
They can stop there. Gail wants this one to get around, and that is 3
shots. Wow.
Well, this is the reply that she was after. 1 bowl left to come each, and an opportunity for Gail. If CP can't do anything about this, she's been pretty wayward this end, but he's hoping the correction can come.
She switched over the forehand. I don't mind this option. The first 3 on her backhand weren't her best.
When this line,
She's changing something up. If she gets a clear road here,
I think she's going to crash in. Yep.
Oh, she was underweight too. That's disappointing for
So
her.
opportunity now for Gail Thow to take a 4. Definitely 3 at the moment.
Well, I spoke about consistency just as this end was commencing, Val, and the players who are getting the results are the ones who are a bit more consistent. We've seen here, CP took the last end with some great bowls. She got 2. Gail, though, has put in 3 very consistent bowls, is currently holding 3, and a chance to get the maximum.
Gail Thow, we know these have been turning. We know they've been turning, but will that be enough? It's probably gone a little bit too far. So I reckon we'll stick with 3 here.
Yeah, Joe's got 3 lined up for us.
Joe
Last
Franzi
bowl.
doing a great job.
Last ball getting all the way to the back of the rink there. It shows it's hard to just maintain the same level of consistency that we see from a Kelsey Cottrell, for example, from 21-0. I bet she was all over it the entire game.
That was done in bloody 20 minutes. That is lightning quick.
Well, given partner Andrew Howie's commitments to this Australian Open, she was probably keen to get home and help him out.
Have we lost another jack? Yep. Colin Bray, where are you? lost a couple in that middle session. I think it was 3 or 4 out of bounds or in the ditch.
Yeah, a couple went wide too, didn't they, Val? It was just some erratic work with the little white one, but we'll see what CP can do here, because she'd really like to answer back after that. It was a disappointing way to drop a 3.
Yeah, I think so. The opportunities were there. Unfortunately, she couldn't take them, but in singles play, that can happen. Singles is the most common time where you can see maximum scored, or the discipline where you can see it happen more frequently than others.
Well, there's not a lot of 8s when you're playing 4s. It does happen.
Happened in the Commonwealth Games last year.
Did they get an 8 pin for that? They still give 8 pins out in a lot of regions of Australia. If you get an 8, they're very rare.
I'm not sure they do it in the Com Games.
I saw one of my friends who I play against. He plays at Merimbula Bowling Club, and I had a free kick to draw for 8. I left it short.
Oh.
We only got a 7 the first end. It ended up being a draw too. 19 all my rink. And
that's your fault.
There's a few people who give it to me after that, and I did deserve it.
Would you have got a pin?
No, we don't do pins where I play, but Bowls ACT still have a few floating around. I might have just pinched one.
Yeah. Bring me one too.
Okay, yes. But
we'll call ourselves the 8 pins.
Look for 8 great calls. Together, we can have an 8 pin.
Gail Thow.
Oh, it's a great bowl from Gail.
She's really tightening the screws now. Her consistency is up to notch. Very interesting where this one sits.
Very deliberate pre-shot routine here. Gail Thow, I don't reckon she's ever put down a wrong bias in her life. She's...
I always got to look.
Well, you do look like a goose if you do it, and you especially look like one if you do it on a RINKSIDE live game, but...
It won't quite be a second, but she had that line almost right on.
Yeah, I think she's figured it out on that hand.
But I reckon it's probably going to change at some stage.
Oh, CP Young, this is sort of hunting weight here. She wants to get a bit of contact on either the jack or the bowl.
And she took her own.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
So now it's 2. Which is panic stations, because the way she's been bowling, Gail is going to get another one in. She's really nailing this backhand line.
Yeah, brought in that front bowl of hers by brought in the front bowl of Gail Thow, CPN, by removing what was second shot. Here she is. She gets a clear ride here. That's a lovely bowl, Gail. She's getting a warm round from the fans here.
That is sensational. David Clark, a chap at the Mulgrave Bowls Club in Vic, got an 8 and then dropped an 8 on his rink in a pennant game. Hope he never got a badge.
You'd probably return the one that that you'd been awarded, wouldn't you?
Get the receipt. And
a net 0-8.
So,
CP Young, she's on a higher line here and has taken a little bit of the weight off. This is a big chance of getting down to the jack, Val.
Got around her own. Goes past. But is it enough? No, that's going to be another 3 here.
Well, I know that bowl finished, it did finish across the head, but she gave herself an opportunity to run into a few things there. She, once she got underneath her own dark blue hand side XG, she was a big chance of crashing into either the jack or either of the 2 shot bowls, but it is 3 shots, as you say.
So 11-6 all of a sudden. It was 6-5 just 2 ends ago in the favour of CP. But Gail Thow, well, she's using a gale force wind.
quite Gail Force yet, is
No,
it?
not yet. But 2 threes in the last couple of ends. And throwing the jack into the ditch didn't affect her.
Well, she might have just done it again, though.
No, this is going to pull up. It does. So the consistency has been there. Now, is it going to be backhand around the clock here? It is.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we saw in the last game how players are favouring certain hands. It was definitely for Lynn Tarrant, the forehand that became the favoured hand, and that is what got her back into the game. CPN seemed to have settled on a backhand, but then has been forced to change hands a few times. And with the changing of lengths that Gail Thow has done by winning consecutive ends, and now this is really stretched out. It's on the tee. The jack is on the tee, and the mat's only maybe 2 metres up, so it's almost pretty close to maximum length.
Sometimes, and this is the Kelsey Cottrell strength, the tee to tee. You can really suss out your opponents and what their skills are. And Gail Thow, she means business. She doesn't want to lose. She wants to ensure that she leaves the Australian Open with at least one singles win. This one's motoring, but I think it's going to get back. We know that they're turning. Be enough for 2, but I dare say CP will get one in there very shortly.
I think from this range,
just needs to correct the weight, really. Her line was spot on.
Yeah, but from this range, to get them as close as that, and this is probably an unforgiving camera angle because this is the wide angle lens too, so it does make it look a bit further away.
CP, nicely played.
Yeah, that's good
That's
enough.
one. Now, what does Gail do here? Because obviously she has those 2 at the back. Does she go for a trail? Change hand, go for a trail? Take 3?
Well, I wouldn't because she's played the backhand pretty well so far. And she should know where the line is. If you're switching over to the forehand, you're on a new line. Again, it's a bare jack. There's not a lot of it's not a big target.
Yeah, she's going backhand again.
Trailing jacks is lovely, and we do see it so much from our really, really elite players. But for for the people who aren't Kelsey Cottrell or Aaron Sheriff or Aaron Tees, the percentage is just get it close.
Yeah. So similar bowl to her first, Gail Thow. Opportunity here for CP. She's gone with the backhand as well. And
Well, this is a bad result.
This is a great result for CP. 2 for her, and she's got it right to the back of the rink here.
Yeah, look, made 2 shots, covers up any danger of dropping a huge number. There's still enough room. Gail would, I'm sure, back herself to draw this. But
she just needs less weight as the one before, as her first and third bowls, and this is going to end up, I think, where a second is. So that correction...
Yeah, the correction weight, and we do see it from time to time, the correction in weight does see an overcorrection in line, and that's what's happened there. But CP, now it's a chance for her. 3 shots here. We're back down to a 2-shot margin. Well, this is under grass, sadly.
Yep, so that'll be 2, and it's an end where I think Gail would like to have back.
Well, I think CP Young would like to have it back too. She was slapping her her open palm on her thigh as she was walking down the green. I think she knew she had a chance to make a good score. There was a free kick for a third.
A 3 would have been sensational, but if she didn't get it, at least it's a 2. They're going to have a look. It's 2. Joe Franzi on the money.
He's not done much wrong as a marker, Joe Franzi.
As a bowler.
He's even turning as he should, as a marker, he's turning the paddle so everybody gets an equal opportunity to see them no matter where you're on the green. But you're right, as a player, yes, he was 3 from 3. And we'll be looking forward to knockout singles action, which commences when, Val? Saturday?
Yes, let me triple check the event schedule for you. And I'll tell you when everything is on. So, knockout singles commences on Saturday, June 17. Men's fours sectional kicks off tomorrow. Finish, and then knockouts are on Friday. We'll have women's singles again for you tomorrow.
It's a good start here, CP. She's going to be really thrilled to have made 2 that end, despite missing out on the third shot. She's made 2. She's back within 3. And the first bowl has gone real close. Looks to be keeping her own card there as well, so she might be making just a few notes about length of jack and...
I like that. Attention to detail.
Yeah, well, it's very hard, it's a great sport where data can mean a lot, but the actual data collection is really hard to do. And if you're doing it yourself, you've got to be a really hard marker on yourself too and say, was that an effective bowl? Well, no, it wasn't. Yes,
Yeah. CP.
Oh, she can slide off that. Yeah, that'll work.
Certainly will.
In for 2.
So Gail, we know the backhand around the clock has been her shot of choice. Jamie Lee Warsnott was on this screen before. She's done.
She was only on there briefly, Val.
Yep.
She didn't muck around either. Showing her class in women's singles. Very well credentialed players. We see a great bowl from Gail there.
Beautifully done.
Makes shot.
11-8 the score after 11. I feel like there's going to be a few more twists and turns here, Nikind.
Well, it'd be consistent with everything we've seen so far at this Australian Open. There's not been one game that has gone entirely to script, I would say, Val. It's been an exhibition of great bowls as we see. There we go. Twists and turns. Ray Mitchell saying, great to see CP at the Open. A big expense to attend, but I'm sure she will enjoy herself. And look, if you're coming as a holiday, it's kind of the way to treat it. You're going on holiday, but you're also playing in the biggest bowls event in the world.
Yep. Not to mention, great place to come on a winter holiday. You're going to get good weather, good places to eat. Gail Thow, I think she's underneath this. Weight, not great either. So she'll get one more crack at it. Yeah, she turned her back on that pretty quick. CP's going to jog down and have a look.
This is the first time we've seen this from CP, and I'm really happy that she's doing it because Gail has been really, she's asked a lot of questions. She's been most demonstrative. She's had a good look at heads. She's been and got engaged. She's ridden a couple of bowls down. CP Young has been very composed, very controlled, but she's probably aware that again, she's got a good 1.5 foot to draw this. And based off her last bowl, she'd really want to back herself to do it again. She's a good girl, Gail. I think Jay just give her the tip to stay out of our camera shot.
CP What can she
She's
give
on
us?
a good line, Val.
She is. Needs it to get back now. It's going to come over the top and just going to go too far. There was that opportunity there.
Well,
If she hit that Gail Thow bowl away and stayed, we know how quick they're moving on these greens today.
Probably didn't
Could
have
have
the
been for 4.
Yeah, probably didn't have the weight though to do enough with the
No.
light blue bowl. But had she got down to the dark blue, which was holding shot, and punched into it and spat the jack out the back, it would have made 3.
Yep. So there was an opportunity. Time for Gail Thow to try and negate things. She dropped 2 on the last end, having led 11-6. She would love to get back on the board. Continues on with the backhand. It is on its way, and I tell you what, it's not a bad line. Gail Thow.
Is it going to get down? What's it going to
Oh. Almost worked.
do? Well,
Is it 2 down, though? That's the question.
it's knocked the jack back all the way to the tee. And this could bring in that last bowl of CP Ng. And if so, she was playing 4-dimensional chess, Valfebo. She knew where that jack was going to go. And has
We're measuring here.
requested a tape.
So it's definitely 1, but they're going to check to see whether this is the second. I am probably favouring it, Nick Hind. It'd be a sigh of relief for Gail Thow if it's not.
Yeah, well, CP sort of set that head up where it was only going to advantage her. And, yeah, Gail, I think, has conceded 2 shots.
There it is. That is
So
somewhat of a disaster for Gail Thow, but
buckle up, though,
yep,
because it's now
11-10.
11-10. Here comes CP Ng, and it's game on again. It looked for a moment there when Gail got 2 threes in a row, the score was 11 shots to 6 after 10 ends. We've now completed 12 ends, and CP has picked up a 2 and a 2. And it's now 11 shots to 10. I don't think we're going to get a timeout, but I'd love to call for a draw here because I think they look so well matched.
I know.
And that way,
Neither of them leave with at least no points.
yeah, they all get something.
So
Is it too much to ask for everyone to have a nice time? I mean, I know there has to be a winner and a loser.
here we go. CP has had the better of things, going down 11-6, and she's scored a couple of 2s now. This one, toing and froing. I said there'd be more twists and turns. Gail didn't do too badly in that last end, was on the money a couple of times, but CP had the bowls in the right areas.
Yeah, well, it took a brilliant bowl for CP Young to get shot, and then a really clever position bowl where the only thing that could happen was going from 1 shots to 2 shots. Gail, though, obliged, and now we're looking at a really good contest and a really close tussle.
Certainly are.
The Tassie fans, though, are going to be cheering Gail on in the comments. There's a few of them. Tracy Little, Christine Saunders. And both players have got some fans rinkside here. It is rink 22, green 4 at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Better line here from Gail. And the green is just losing a little bit of finish now.
Yep. Christine Saunders on the comments supporting Gail Thow from Tasmania herself, I feel. A lot of Tassie sentiment. Chris CP looking for something to stay.
Good bowl.
That's a very good bowl.
Good bowl. Joe's put 2 paddles in the air.
Yeah, Colin, it is good to see international participation at the AO. Anybody can come. Gail, though, now needs something in there herself.
She had to adjust her weight only a fractionally. That was a good line again. So if you're CP, you just keep plonking away on that backhand there. The last 2 have been good enough to be counters. Got it away nicely. She had good speed again, Val. And here, as we've seen plenty of times in the match, Gail's coming to just wander up and inspect, survey, take stock of what the situation is at the head. She's had a pretty good line on all 3 of her bowls, but just nailing that weight hasn't quite happened. And probably looking to see if it's 2 shots or 3. I think it's only 2.
Looks like 2. The bowl at 12 o'clock. I reckon I'm favouring in for 3rd. But Gail, though, she needs something now at the moment. On a live score, if it were to stay this way, she'd be behind. CP would take the lead for the first time since the conclusion of end 5. Oh, no, end 7. 8. There we go. She led at 6-5, dropped 2 threes to go down 11-6. Gail, though, she's in the area, but this is going to travel, and that
just quick that time.
That is going to be. Could it have cut it out? I still favour 2, but there's a chance. Gail walking down the green to have a look. CP might be in front right now. She gives her the mat and did not need much deliberation at all. 2 indicated by Joe Franzi. And a 2, a 2, and a 2. Gets CP back in front.
2s never lose, Val. 2s never lose. You get a 2 every end, you will never lose the game.
It's the same if you get a 1, 2, 3, or 4 every end.
Yeah, you just do it twice as fast. So if you get a 2 and then getting a 1.
Yeah. It's true. So this one, again, twisting and turning as we've had all day. Good to finish on some drama. This result fairly inconsequential to the group. What is not inconsequential is the support given to us by Major Events Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. They are stellar and do a wonderful job in supporting this event and have helped make it what it has become, the biggest bowls festival in the world.
Yes, echoing Val's sentiments. It's a great event, a great location, a great crew of people to be involved with. If you're coming here as a player, as a spectator, as a family member, as a volunteer.
When do you fly out, Nicholas?
Oh,
Friday. What are you doing tonight? Or your last day tomorrow?
Oh, I know. Well, I might have to... Look, I'll take suggestions from the comments, but we've already heard about singing chefs.
Yeah, I still don't know what this is.
We've heard about some favoured venues. Everybody on the stream by now should know that I do enjoy playing poker, so that might be an option. There's a number of friends up here too with whom I've yet to spend a significant amount of time, so we'll see what happens. Equally, I could be in bed by 9 o'clock. I know it sounds very easy from the comfort of your lounge chairs at home, but this is hard yak we've been putting in here, Val.
It's not the talking that's hard, it's mainly staying mentally switched on. Well, I say mentally switched on, and sometimes I can go absolutely loopy, and those viewers will know that. But Gail has changed hands in this direction and got a little bit of a fortunate result there.
I think we're both pretty good at talking. CP's changed sunglasses too. She's just gone to the bag to get a lighter shade of shades.
I love it.
With the shade going across. These are the things that...
Fashion.
Well, these are the things that you wouldn't know just by watching the stream. It needs specialised local calling.
So will this get around? It will, but wait. Just a little too much, I think. Well, maybe not. Measure. Drifted in.
Yeah, that front bowl of...
a lot further away than it looks.
Yeah, it looks good on the screens, but the back bowl of CP is the one which is holding out Gail of any certainty of shot, but there's plenty of room. Gail trotting after this one again. She wants it to hurry.
Needed it to do a little more.
It's an issue with bowls sometimes. I've often threatened to get my next set to have ears on as the logo, see if they might listen to me a bit more closely.
That would be a good brand name for a set of bowls. The ears.
Well, just the logos. Just it doesn't. I mean, they could be Henselite. They could be any manufacturer who's willing to cough up a free set. Always after a freebie on this show, aren't I? But
seems like it. Seems like it.
Well, no different to your best bagel place or Kyle's number one ticket holder. But
not wrong.
Yeah, a set of ears on the bowls, it might encourage them to listen to me just a little bit more.
So Gail's at the head here, just inspecting, and I don't know what she's favouring.
Well, she's got 2 chances at the front to be shot versus 1 chance at the back for CP.
What hand does she go with? Does she stick with the forehand?
I'll have to play forehand here. There's too much. The 2 dark blue bowls of CP.
They're in the way completely.
Yeah, at 2 o'clock as we're looking at it.
So obstructing the run, and now if she goes forehand,
well, it's all her coming up.
Yep. If she crashes into hers, then that's a good result. So advantage in the court of Gail Thow at the moment. Gone with the forehand. How's the weight? Line looks all right.
Well, even getting a turn out of this widest bowl could do something. Gets around everything, and that could well do it.
That is in. Yeah, that's the shot. It falls in. That's the shot. Gail Thow. Yeah, now, who's got second? That's the question.
Yes, well, we know who's on first.
So Gail will at least tie this. 1 kicked out. CP obliges.
So who's on first? Now, what's on second?
We're going to measure.
I think my old baseball jokes are going over your head, Val.
They are. There
was a great skit. Have a look at who's on first. It's a great skit.
How did your Oakland A's go today, Nick?
Mate, they're 7 in a row.
Wow.
Leading the major leagues for the most wins, and they now have the 2nd worst record in Major League Baseball at 19-50. It's going to be...
It's going to be 2. Yeah, 2. Yeah. Yep. Joe Franzi has got 2, and the lead changes yet again. 13-12 in the favour of Gail Thow.
Well, that was brought about by a really, really great last bowl here from Gail. She drew around the whole lot. She rounded them all up, and sat Jack high to make shot. Doesn't have to worry so much about the measure there. You know you've got one. The measure, well, the result is the result, but to get to 2 was a little bit of a bonus. It was a pretty tight measure. They had a good look at it.
Yep.
And given Joe Frunze didn't give us a definite answer, it means it was pretty close because I trust his eyes. He's been very good for us.
He has been. We've been blessed with our markers. Of course, AP are proud to support the event volunteers and officials here at the Australian Open. Now, just because I like patterns and I like how matches go, that is sat on the precipice of the edge. And it doesn't go in the ditch.
That's the most vocal I've heard. Lockie Williams, he's been behind the scenes doing all the technical stuff for us.
I just heard him groan.
He's ridden that jack harder than he's ridden a bowl all week.
It's the highest pitch I think I've ever heard him as well. Now, I like patterns, Nick.
Yes.
That is the 6th lead change of this match. And one from Gail.
Well,
wide and fast.
Well, after that jack roll, that's not entirely surprising. You do sort of set your pace off the rolling of the jack, and that jack roll was pretty risky. It did hang on. And with a little bit more weight with the bowl in hand, it disappeared.
Colin's given us a 4.95. I'm not sure how that jack didn't go in. That was unreal.
Darren Draper, 7 wins in a row, but you'll find that they had the reverse boycott today, and it was 30,000+ at the decrepit old Coliseum in Oakland. But we are here to talk bowls, and we are here to see if Gail can adjust her weight.
Well, it's a lot better than the first one, and it'll do for shot for now.
Colin Bray scoring that jack roll as a 0.95 for losing it. It was
perilously close to going in.
Gail used every bit of the rink.
Literally every bit of it. So this isn't getting down. That's still going to be 1.
Well, the one thing that we know here that the greens are superbly maintained, and there are clubs that you can go to where they may not have the capabilities and the finances that they can invest into their greens as they do here at Broadbeach, and there are some greens where it does fall away when you get near the ditch, and it's easy to happen because that's where all the players are stepping down. There's a lot of weight there.
Yeah.
The greens here, I mean, I've played on billiard tables that are rougher than this.
So that'll be 2 to Gail Thow.
Colin also points out it is now nearly 4 o'clock and the green has started to slow down. Yeah. So,
as we all do during the day, we all get to about 4 o'clock and we say, you know what, there's an hour to go. We're starting to feel it now as CP needs this to pull up or crash. Goes past.
Well, the final hour of the broadcast the last few days, Val, I think that's when we've gone mad too. There's been some random topics.
Oh, you especially. Yeah, I'm not going to bring it up again, but yeah, yesterday you went off on some almost ringside live after dark.
I mean, imagine if they had me on the broadcast at the championships when games are going to 10 o'clock. What sort of absolute rubbish would have been spoken then.
Well, I know in Melbourne, the radio station Kiss, I think it's Kiss, Fifi, Fev and Nick did a 27-hour broadcast, went all through the night, broke the Guinness World Record. I'm not sure what would have been said at 4 a.m. there, because that would have been...
Well, you're past Watershed there, though, so you can
say what you like. Jinx. Buy me a Coke or a bagel.
All right.
So this now,
CP been a bit
she
away
needs...
with this end, but this will help.
Oh, she got the rub.
Well, did she just get enough of it?
I don't know that she did. So what are we looking at? This is definitely a Gail Thow end.
Yeah, it's It's a long way shot, whichever it is. It's a long way shot. I mean, we know that 3 o'clock's number 1.
Yep.
But whichever's number 2.
I think number 2 is at 2 o'clock.
Do you like that one up there? I think I like down here at about 4 p.m. here, the dark blue.
Lucky we know our clocks as a car alarm goes off in the background.
Yeah, CP's pointing at the one at the back. But
we're
Gail's going to come
measure.
in. Yeah, she'll kick that one out.
Be surprised if this is only one. It's nice to see CP helping with the measure. Just the one. So no harm done for CP. 14-12 the lead to Gail Thow.
Well, no significant damage, and given both players were probably a little bit loose in that that end, I think CP Young would be quite pleased that it was only one shot that she's gone down. Gail Thow continues with the mat, and she's going to continue to fire that jack.
This will pull up, though.
She's got a risk with the boundary peg, though, this time, Val.
Nah, that's well and truly in. Just.
Well and truly just in.
Well, it was in, so it was well and truly in.
By an inch or a mile, I suppose, isn't it? I have been pleased we haven't had to call an umpire on one of those. That's a frustrating one because it's a very time-consuming exercise getting the umpire on the mirrors.
14-12 the lead. 6 lead changes so far. Swings are plenty.
Well, we've seen the changes, but we're going to start seeing the changes in green speed. You may have just heard the zip of Lockie Williams being done up in the background. He's gone for the coat, as the tent we're in is...
I'm glad it was the coat and not the shorts.
Well, it's bathed in shade now. We're completely out of the sun, and that westerly breeze is still about, but it has moderated enough that it's not causing us any significant discomfort. But as we see it cool off, as we've seen every day here, Val, the green does change, the pace does change.
And CP has been able to find it earlier.
Yeah, well, let's see. As players adapt.
No, I think it's time for my coat as well.
Oh, righto. So, CP asking how far in front that last bowl of Gail Thow is. It's over 2 feet out was the suggestion. But CP Young has decided forehand's the way to go. So, Sharon, the mirrors are sometimes used to measure whether a jack or a bowl is in bounds. I don't know what technology they've got here. There's scopes as well. There's a lot of different things that they can use, but they're all part of an umpire's box of tricks. I did see a laser measure being used by the umpire over on Rink 24 earlier today. But that was to measure for shot bowl rather than determine whether a bowl was in bounds or out of bounds. Well, Gail's after this one. Got a bit of work to do, though.
Pushes the CP bowl over, and it gets an extra roll closer to the jack. So this is the end where CP would love to wrestle the momentum back. A 3 here would get her back in front for the 7th lead change. A 2 would tie it.
She's entitled to have felt she could have done better with that one. You know, she nailed.
Yeah, she's not really pleased with herself there, looking at her body language.
Yeah, she nailed the first one and has come up short with the next 2. She needs to go and give that little dog a pat or something like that. That might get her into a better frame of mind. It's a very handsome little dog over there.
That is a neatly manicured dog.
Perhaps freshly laundered, back from the groom as well. It does look beautiful.
Yeah.
If it's still here at the end of the game, I'll go and commend its owner.
It's getting a pat now. But yeah, I think that dog would be very keen to get out there and chase a lot of these bowls.
Gail under the line and under the weight again. We're seeing late in the day, while the green's still turning fairly well, the speed just isn't quite there as it was earlier.
Now, Nick, yesterday morning we streamed Nix McKenzie from Dandenong Club, and she, in the women's pairs, she has just defeated Natasha Van Eldik in the singles. Tash is safely through.
This was Nix and Ange who played together.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a tough group. Natasha Van Eldik, Nicole McKenzie, Olivia Cartwright, and Hanneke Booth. Now, Nix McKenzie has defeated Tash Van Eldik in the final match. Tash is through on shots up plus 31. Nicole McKenzie might be missing out though. She's only plus 7.
So 2 wins for each of them.
Yep.
Wow, that's a big scalp though, isn't it?
It is. Great confidence booster for her. CP Ng, though, she'll take a 1 here, and that margin will be back to within 1.
Confidence booster for CP as well. Like, she nailed it with that first one. We've seen, as the green's slowing, need to really take advantage when your opponent misses. And both, well, look, the last 2 ends, that was a bit wayward from Gail, that end. The end before was a little bit wild from Wild and wayward from CP Young. But it's only been 1 shot each time. Here we go, Lockie Williams, you're riding this one as well. Ooh. Safely had 6 inches to travel that.
Yeah.
That one. That might only be a 0.8 there, Colin.
So 14-13, 16 ends played. No one in the checkout zone. They're in the cold produce aisle. Looking to see what's in there.
Well,
where's this going? Well, that bowl is going in the ditch. It's a touch-up, so we're going to be pretty much drawing to the ditch.
Yeah, Val, that would have been a way to...
secure a shot.
Well, put your opponent under some pressure too. Just go trail it into the pit with your first bowl. I'm sure that wasn't the first intent, but look, as it's turned out, there's a toucher in the ditch now. That jack's only maybe a foot from, or maybe 2 feet from the sand.
Yep. Now we've got 43 minutes to play. Started this session at 2:30.
You're not suggesting a timeout.
I'm just saying that if it continues this way, we keep changing momentum. It could be a possibility. And that draw that you've been wanting since you sat down here for the first time might be on the cards.
CP has changed hands there and has adjusted weight nicely, but we're seeing that bowl's still finished maybe a metre across the centre line. You still need to take some paddock.
Now, Lynn Tarrant has just won her final game. We streamed her there. Lynn has won.
And won it comfortably too.
Yep. 21-9 over her opponent. And Alan Weir is in a tight tussle. Was 14-11. But I think that's just going to extend a little bit now. She's just won the end. So it's at least 15 or so to 11. Right here, though. Favouring Favouring one to CP maybe.
Well, CP's got the bowl in the ditch, but we can't compare it with our camera shot to the front, the closest blue. That gives us a better indication.
Yeah, this is the angle that we've got pretty much sitting here.
So Gail asking how far her last bowl is short of Jack. So 2.5 feet short was the comment from Joe. And
3 foot.
3 foot.
So shot is Gail.
Apparently, yes, Jay's suggesting that some of the fans here are getting a bit rowdy.
And the music blaring in his ears. So
well, it's now 4:05, Val. I'm sure there's a few people who've knocked off for the day to come down and catch the last hour here at Broadbeach. Ah, right. So Gail Thow, as she's done all game, has been very direct with the marker in terms of getting instruction about the situation and how all the bowls lie. And now that she's bowled her third, she's entitled to come visit the head. She's got this out in a good line, Val.
she does. Gail Thow needs it to stop.
And has.
2 for Gail. She leads at 14-13. Of course, she's got one left. This is CP's last.
Yeah, I wonder how aggressive he'd be here. I mean, given how close it is to the ditch, playing absolute perfect draw weight leaves you vulnerable still, if you're just a little bit over, to losing the bowl. There may be a suggestion that you just go for the jack anyway.
So, CP, the bonus for her is that she's got a toucher in the ditch. But this one...
Well, she's played this pretty good. If she can get the jack again...
Has she?
Oh, Val Febo. Might have done enough to make shot, though.
I reckon...
Falls over.
It's going to fall eventually, surely. Gail's just in the way. One to red, one to Gail still. I'm favouring Gail Thow's.
Well, that was the indication from Jay there. And yeah, she's played that really well, CP. She's given herself every chance of picking up the jack. And if that jack had gone straight back with her bowl, where her toucher in the ditch is just below. There's a black mark on top of the bank there. That's about where her other bowl's sitting in the ditch. So would have been a good 2, a really easy 2, and a really tough 2 for anybody to dig out because they would both be touches. But what we've got now is that Gail's a chance. She was holding 2 shots before. If she can get down and rest that last bowl of Gail Thow into the pit, she can make 3.
She can. But execution here for Gail. Needs to be bang on if she can get herself a third.
She's playing backhand, which I think suggests to me that she's identified the same thing. She can bump her own front bowl up.
It's on its way.
Or she's just got to get down. Oh, no, she's not got the weight.
No. $15-13 will be the scoreline. 6 off victory. Gail Thow. As she moves ever closer.
Confirmed by Joe there, and he's done a sterling job as all the markers are doing here across 14 venues being used.
Yep.
Here on the Gold Coast. So an enormous army of volunteers.
Which APIA is proud to support.
And we salute them, I'd suggest, don't we? Because it's it's sometimes going to be a tough gig. They're travelling from one end of the Gold Coast to the other.
They are. It's Gold Coast is fairly big.
But it's not a thankless task because we all know and really respect the work and the efforts that they're putting in.
Alan Weir leading 18-11 next door. Looks like we might have the longest contest.
Well, this is what you want on Rinkside Live. You get the best of the coverage.
Oh, there is one more going on.
And the best of the games. Well, that's Mel Lestrange up on Rink 26 there. Rink 28, I apologise. And she's in front 16 shots to 9, I can inform you. Mel Lestrange we called from South Tamworth in a women's pairs game yesterday.
Yep. What an epic win it was for them too. 3 shots off the last to win by a shot. So Gail Thow, she's 6 off victory.
Currently holding. Mel Lestrange and her partner Debbie Quick from the pairs yesterday came and said some very nice words about the Rinkside Live coverage. They've listened back to it, and apparently we said some nice things about them. So
I think we did. Scale just goes through.
Paul Butler's calling a timed out game here. Well, they've still got 35 minutes.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean that way. If CP wins this end, then I will definitely be leaning that way. Who are you favouring here? Is it 2 to Gail or just the 1?
Well, it was 2 to go. We'll see how much work this bowl can do here from CP.
That'll be just the 1 to Gail now.
No, 2's the indication from
Still
Joe.
2.
Yeah.
Does Gail stay on the same line?
Well, I think she's setting up on the forehand.
Yep.
There's an argument to swing over to the backhand here. That front bowl of CP is likely to be nuisance value, if nothing else, because if it gets bumped up a couple of rolls, it will be shot. But she's taken a pretty high line.
Stalking in behind it. That'll just come underneath. Will it roll up enough? No. So still 2 to Gail Thow. A 2 would get her into that checkout zone, the all-important checkout zone. Or the springboard.
I think in supermarkets around the country, Val, there's going to be new floor markings around the cash register area. The checkout zone, yeah. Val Febo's checkout zone with your head on it.
And she's got the jack here, has CP and has delivered the jack straight to Gail Thow. And she's not happy about it.
No, look, it was a great effort, though.
It was.
And unfortunate that the bowl of Gail Thow was waiting. There's only one slip there, and it's still gone straight to it. But change the head up, cut down the count.
Starting to feel like I need a cushion here on the chair. It's been a fairly long day sitting on the surface. How are you feeling?
I think, do we have a hammock sponsor we could get onto?
No, we don't.
Oh, we could call this from hammocks.
All I would hear would be snores coming from you.
Oh, there's other noises, as I revealed earlier. There might be other noises if I'm asleep. But no one's getting an armchair ride here because it's been a topsy-turvy encounter. Now, this one's going to just sit in front and really limit the opportunities to get into this. Now, we haven't seen either player have a chance with a bit of weight, but I'm calling for it here. CP on the backhand.
Go for it.
Chance to get the dark blue bowl up, chance to get the shot bowl out. I know there is a risk of getting her own bowl out, but at this stage of the game, there's really no other way in there. we're seeing it exactly what I call this is the most powerfully played shot of the game.
She's missed it, so it'll be one more. We haven't had a multiple scored for the last 4 ends. Gail Thow has won 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah, it's really been topsy-turvy, this contest, Val. I'm seeing that Gail Thow is probably asserting a slight dominance, but I can't rule out CP at the moment.
Yeah, but it's slight dominance. It's not full-blown.
No.
Has that stayed in bounds?
We'll have a look at that. Joe's satisfied.
He is, so that isn't a loss. Jack Colin Bray, I know you're watching. Good to have everybody's company from wherever they're watching around the world. Thank you for joining us here on Rinkside Live at the 2023 Australian Open. Val Febbo and Nick Hind with you.
I was just thinking of the Bray name, and I was trying to think of who. There was another famous Bray, and it was Victor Bray in drag racing. He had a 57 Chev, and was renowned for his wild burnouts. Victor Bray. I wonder, Colin, let us know if he's any relation.
Okay.
I would love that as an old motorsports fan.
Also Bray Park in Brisbane, where Pine Rivers is located. Could be named after Colin. See if he is a relation. You a burnout man yourself, Nick?
No, my Bowls Australia provided vehicle has too many safety features for that, and I'm too much of a cautious driver anyway, Val. No
handbrake turns?
No, the skateboards is as leery as I get if I'm on wheels. My partner, though, Leadfoot, Larry, fair dinkum.
I can't judge. I fancy myself as a bit of Fernando Alonso on the roads.
Well, Kyle Langley did make some comments about you in the Bowls Australia Maserati.
Jeez, if they gave me a Maserati, whew, I'd sleep in that thing.
It's a good track here, CP, and just needs to clear past their front bowl, and that will be number 1.
Unless it stops.
Yeah, that'll be right.
No, that's fine.
So there is a bowl of Gail Thow at the back of the rink. She's probably got the tee covered, but at this stage, there's no danger of it going back there. Gail skipping after this one, though. This is on a good track. She's got to clear the front.
Get around it. Might get a rub. No, knocks it up.
Well,
so that's 2 now. Opportunity for CP Ng to get the job done. Nick Hind.
Well, we said there'd be another twist in the tail. We said that there'd be a chance of a timeout. We said we've made some outrageous predictions, mostly me.
We've made a lot of predictions.
But
we like to do that.
But look, a lot of them have come true, and we're trying to give our great viewers an insight into what the players might be thinking and what the opportunities are, because I believe it's 2 shots currently to CP Ng.
We should make it a 1-shot ball game.
And once again, we're back within a shot. They have gone toe-to-toe, head-to-head, shot for shot just about in this game. We'll see how much longer it goes and see how much longer Val's backside can handle sitting in
it's a hard chair.
Sitting in the hard chairs. John Roberts is stalking around near us here. He's
How long, JR? He's going to 26 minutes, apparently.
We might need Lockie might be having to get the shot clock up for us again presently. It's 26 minutes to go.
Well, here we go. This is a free kick. CP Ng might have an opportunity.
Well, she makes a 3 here, Val. That's going to go a long way to not only getting her back in the contest, but perhaps shifting the momentum to the Hong Kong representative.
This would tie it. It's looking...
She's quick.
Looking like a bit too much, yeah. But I'm favouring 2. Let's see what Joe Franzi favours as well. No idea. We sit on the edges of our seat, mainly because I have to. Two to CP Ng. And the battle continues. 16-15. We've seen 6 lead changes. Will we get a 7th?
Well, you'd almost favour it at this point. You know, CP Ng's just got back control of the match. She's got back control of the jack. She's just gone and thrown it all the way down.
Has it gone in? Yes,
Into
Colin
the
Bray.
sand.
Put that down as another.
That one was doing burnouts, that jack.
Couple of handbrake turns along the way.
And these are things, you know, she's chastised herself. She's been a pretty hard marker on herself. I think she sets very high standards, CP Ng. And look, rightly so, because we've seen from her delivery, she looks like a really, really quality bowler. But there's just been a couple of lapses, either in concentration or in technique, which have really let her down there. And she had the opportunity to throw a really long jack. And now Gail Thow has said, you know what? We're going the other way. So it's only a dinky one.
Where are we going to finish up here? I have no idea who's going to win. It's been pretty even from the outset. The biggest lead of the contest has been 5. It was when Gail Thow piled on 2 straight 3s to put that margin out at 11-6.
And that was that sort of concentration lapse that I was just mentioning,
Yeah.
Val. You know, CP has shown that she's a really capable competitor, but these little lapses and just that 2 ends, that was, you know, that set up Gail for a chance to get a bit of a break.
Well, look at this right here now. That one didn't go as far as what I thought it would. I thought Gail had better weight, so CP has a chance to reassert herself.
Well, we're going to see on these shorter ends, there is a need perhaps just to narrow it up a little bit, because the bowl's not going to have so much opportunity to be affected by what little breeze there is remaining. And the green has slowed. David Clark saying the clock could work against Gail, given she's had a few visits to the head. And it would be a shame if anyone was to win or lose on a timeout. But the players are doing just what they're entitled to do. But these very quick greens here at Broadbeach Bowls Club, we're at Rink 22, Green 4. They've meant that the games have gone very close, all of them.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been games in every session that have gone very close to timing out. So
Certainly have, and I'm not sure who I'm favouring at the present, but CP Ng really wanting to, and I think this is definitely 2 to Gail. This looks better.
well, drags the jack here.
Oh, it's done it again. That's the second time that's happened where she's delivered that jack on a platter to Gail Thow. Christmas coming early.
Well, you know, she's a bit unlucky in one sense, but equally though, that was, you know, she was a little bit quick. She was through the head. it was already 2 shots. Maybe this is in a better spot for CP to get at and grab.
Could just be. But let's see what Gail Thow puts down. No doubt that this is going to be a third. Danger signs
that'll
for
be number 1.
CP as Gail Thow puts the pressure on.
Now, the issue here that CP's got is that she's got nothing within Kui and she's got nothing at the back either. So
and if she doesn't get close, this is a free kick for a full count.
Yep. Yeah, just needs to look to get something near it.
The biggest bowl of the match. CP
Cut the count down.
How's she looking?
Well, just needs contact on any of these.
She's under. She
Good,
got one. She got it. Oh, it went too far.
Well, she played good weight there and got a really good result, even if it's only 1 down. Body language from Gail suggests that she probably still has it. I think she gave a little nod to herself and said, no, I've still got that. And Joe's going to get in there and have a Captain Cook so we can provide you.
What's a Captain Cook?
That's a look.
Never heard that before. Where'd that one come
It's
from?
not Cockney rhyming slang, but it's in the same vicinity. I did watch Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels the other night. That's got some of the best rhyming slang in it. Now, Joe has indicated after his look that it's a measure. But I sensed from Gail Thow's body language, and I did profess to be a body language expert.
You have said that a couple of times today. Now, Gail Thow, she's gone a bit wider here. I reckon she's going for this bowl.
Well,
she wants it to get around, but that's quick.
There. That bowl goes, she makes a number, she gets under it, down to the jack, she makes a number.
Look, I'm favouring 1.
I'm favouring it's definitely 1. But to whom?
Or to Gail.
All right, so Joe's in there as a good marker. He's got the chocks at the ready. So once the end has come to completion, they can chock the bowl to prevent it from falling and therefore impacting on any potential measure. Gail Thow standing over, watching intently, as are all the representatives of the Northwest Tasmanian bowls community. Well, I think you might be right there. The way that was...
Yeah. Look, if it stopped moving like I thought it did originally, I thought that CP had it. With the way that the jack went...
It did just roll out at the last moment, didn't it?
It did. Is this... What have we got here? Joe Franzi's leaving us on the edge of our seat. It's one to Gail, and at long last, someone is in the checkout zone. 17-15, by no means is this over.
Well, there's still potentially, Val, as many as 9 ends to be played.
And we won't get that. We've got 18 minutes left.
If it all goes in ones, there's potentially 9 ends. So if it goes in ones, there's no chance. One of these players is going to need to put their foot down if they're going to be going away from the Australian Open Women's Singles Section 1 with a victory. Great to see everybody sticking around with us here on Rinkside Live as we're getting towards the end of the day here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. David Clark said he would have had a run at that bowl of CP. I think a few of us probably would have too. Christine Saunders saying, stand in front of the camera, Gail. Show your bowls Northwest top proudly. Well, she did that. All the Northwestern Tasmanian clubs, I'm sure, will be here enjoying the great action today on Rinkside Live.
So, Gail Thow getting one in at around about 4 o'clock. What can CP do? That last end was a sigh of pure relief for her.
Well, she played a tremendous bowl to take it from what was definitely 3 shots
Yep.
to Gail.
The Magpie comes over for a quick look and then trundles over as that ball goes into the ditch.
Yeah, it's just trundling into the ditch there too. The focus at the end of the day, Val, I mean, we sort of mentioned it idly in the way that we operate here, but as a player, this is your 3rd game of the day. You've played a lot of bowls. Who's going to switch on? Who's going to focus? Who's going to be mentally fit enough, mentally capable enough?
This is what singles is, isn't it? It's all mental. And Ellen Weir only up 18-15 now. She was up 18-11 in the last score update. So that's on the next rink over. 2 nail biters to finish. This one fairly inconsequential in terms of the knockout stage, but Ellen Weir, should she lose, Lynn Tarrant, I think, will be going through.
It's been a good day. I know I say this every day, but it's been a good day. All the games that we've been able to stream, including the sort of double-header game this morning with a lopsided result in our first match, we've been able to provide everybody who's been viewing a great opportunity to see the diversity here at the tournament, but also to be able to bring you guys so many results across so many sections. So to all the fans of Rinkside Live, thank you for your company. Good bowl here. CP Ung has made 2nd shot there. David Clark saying Gail is looking the goods here. She certainly seems to be finishing the stronger.
She is, but we say that 1 minute and then, that can change completely.
Yeah, I find it hard to completely write off the lady from Hong Kong, CP Ng, who has, with 13.5 minutes to go, got to come up with 3 shots to hit the front.
Yep, 2 to tie it. But she's fighting grimly. This match going right to the very wire. That one is not going to do anything.
We'll see what CPN can do here. This last bowl, she's a chance if she can get down. Doesn't want to contact her own, though, because that could be... Oh, she's lucky.
Yep.
Well, I favour that's going to be 1 shot to Gail. Puts her within 3, Val, of victory.
It does. Groceries starting to come out. Cold stuff first.
And at 18.15... And at 18.15, I'm having to go to another line in my my little pad here.
Yeah, your pad is too small. Get a big pad for singles.
It's a rookie mistake, isn't it, Val?
Size matters, Nick.
It's old, it's old.
So, out of the last 6 ends, Gail Thow has won 6. Last 8 ends, Gail Thow has won 6 of them. From 11-12 down, she not stormed out, because she scored 5 singles and 1 2. She needs it to get down, though. I reckon we're going to see a full count soon. I just think we're set up for that. I reckon CP has got a run left in her.
Oh, to be consistent with everything that we've seen over the last few days here on Rinkside Live.
This is not over.
There's always another twist in the tail. Now, we saw yesterday the game between York and South Tamworth. Went down to the...
Yep.
Went right down to the end.
It was a 3 on the final bowl of the day. Final end of the day. Mel Lestrange and Debbie Quick getting the job done.
Can we see the same sort of excitement this afternoon, Val Febo, after we've seen...
I think we can.
CP has...
CP, she's got the ascendancy.
Donked the first one on.
10 and a bit minutes to go. JR's going to give him a 10-minute warning soon. Crowd nestled in.
Well, we can see as far as Green 3, and there is still games going on Green 3 as well. Now, there's also a number of competitors turning up because there is men's fours action here tomorrow. So
there's a roll-up.
A few blokes coming down for a roll-up. They've got the hour between 5 and 6 o'clock to get a lap on. CP Young, she'll want to correct here. She's got the opportunity, as you said, Val. Gail Thow within sight of the finish line. Just faltering a little bit, and those 3 bowls all short and all narrow. But it's easy enough to do when you're getting tight at the end of the day. Getting a little bit tight. Gary Ingley, go Hong Kong win.
Not well. She's in the area to do so. So this is now Gail Thow's final bowl of the end.
Well, she's got it out better here, Val.
Down 1, needs it to get down. Not going to get shot, but she's given up room here. CP, they've got the 10-minute warning from JR.
And we've got the countdown clock.
We do. It might be a bit quick.
No, he's on there. 8 minutes is good. And
this
that might be good
second?
enough.
It is.
Yeah, I favour it.
That's 2. CP Nick Hind.
I always wanted to draw, Val.
You did. And we are both in the checkout zone.
Inside 8 minutes now, so stick with us the next 8 or 9 minutes here. Everybody on Rinkside Live, we're going to get a result of some sort. It could be a win, it could be a loss, it could be a draw, it could be a timeout. And the timeout could give us a win or a loss or a draw.
It could. Now, Alan Weir, I reckon she's down 2 on next door, so that'd make it 18-17 in her favour, but we've done the calculations. And her getting to 18.
Hate to interrupt, Val.
Oh, it's in the ditch.
Hate to interrupt, Val. And if you're now, look, here's where some situational awareness is going to come into it. These players have been given a 10-minute warning. They know they've got 10 minutes to go. They don't know, though, exactly how long it is because we've got the clock going. Now, that is not the official clock. The horn may go at some stage within a few seconds of what we've got up, but... If you're CP Young, there's no way you're delaying the game.
No.
You need to hit the front.
Yep. So that's a bad error on her part, but it could be no harm done. If she wins the end, it's at least tied.
Well, it eats up 30 seconds, you know. Like we see it at the end of rugby league games where they kick the ball into touch, and the end of AFL games where they just kick it around in the backfield. You know, you don't want to be having to waste time when you're the one that needs the ascendancy. You're the one that needs the shots.
Not at all. CP is right on the money, though.
Started well.
Sensational. 18-17 next door, Alan Weir. They've also missed, or her opponent has also missed the jack. That's gone in the ditch.
No, it's good. No, it went short, Val.
Oh, it went too short.
Too short.
I didn't see where it went. I just saw it rolling back. So,
but again, on both rings, it's a terrible tactical error when you're the player that's behind.
18-17 on both rinks here. Alan Weir, we've done the calculation. She's through to the knockout stage. Lynn Tarrant just didn't win by enough.
She's not to know that, though.
No. But CP Ung.
She'll still be striving. CP Ung is still striving here.
Gail Thow short. CP.
It's going to be good enough for 2.
Yep. She's in for her second.
Five minutes to go now. I reckon we'll get one more end in after this, and then the Hooter's going to go.
And look, of course, this isn't the official clock, of course. So don't
but we do know
abide by that. But there's around about
4:45 Australian Eastern Time. So if you're just joining us, you're here for the exciting conclusion. CP Ung from Hong Kong, 17, trails Gail Thow from Tasmania, 18. 4.5 minutes remaining. When the Hooter goes, that's the last end.
Big welcome to everybody. If you have just joined us, viewer numbers still rising. The conclusion of this one. Gail Thow, 2 left in this end, has led for the majority of the second half of this contest. There's been 6 lead changes already. This one is tight. Doesn't want to promote CP Ung's bowl. She has done. That's 2.
I'm less confident. Well,
nah, I'm going with it. Go hard or go home.
Well, we're going to be going home soon. We've only got 3 minutes and 40.
Yep. CP Ung needs the 2 to get in front. This could be tied going into the final end, possibly.
Well, that will at least give us a result.
Yeah.
Unless we get a situation where there's a double toucher, of course, on the last end.
It would be pretty remarkable.
Well, we did see it. See it. I was watching on Monday. There was a men's singles game.
Double toucher.
There was a double toucher when one of the combatants was on 20. And a double toucher prevented any shots from being scored. But here we're seeing definitely one shot to CP Ung. Val likes her for 2.
What has Gail Thow?
Well, look, if Gail
Thow
can pick up shot here, that would see her with a 2-shot lead.
Very hard to beat, but still.
And when the horn goes off,
what has she got?
That'd need a 3 from CP Ung. But
interesting. Definitely 1 to CP.
Maybe a draw. Gary English saying I'm okay with that.
Joe Franzi picking up.
Just
the one.
No.
I was wrong. I apologise. 18 all.
18 all. And we estimate 2 minutes left of game time.
This might be it.
If the jack is rolled to commence an end, that end will be completed.
Yep.
However, if the siren goes, as we think it will in the next 2 minutes, it's taken them about 4 minutes to complete an end. So I definitely don't see them getting any further than this one. And at 18 all, that means we're going to get a result. That draw that I was after.
Yep, you might just get there.
Bugger.
But I reckon the horn, this could be the final end of the contest, and we are even We're not sure when the horn is going to be blown. This is almost like the Channel 10 5-minute warning in the footy. We kind of, like, we have an indication about how long is left. If it is a minute, which we think it is, we are not going to get the final end. So this is it.
Sharon Kane is watching from under the desk. It's that thrilling. John Roberts standing at the back of the rink. It's a shot to Gail Thow. That means she holds game. They are commencing another end on rink 23. It's also 18 all on rink 23. But here on rink 22, CP in just under the grass line.
Here we go. Jack has been rolled on the next rink over. So there will be another end there between Ellen Weir and her opponent. This is it. 43 seconds apparently. So this is it. We're not going to be finishing this end unless they get him down super quick. This is currently 2 to Gail Thow.
Yeah, lots of room to draw here, and this is where all that coaching, all that practice, all that training, it's going to come down to how can you execute in the big moments.
It's been toing and froing the entire contest. The biggest lead has been a 5-shot margin, and that was the favour of Gail Thow at 11-6, as JR has scared the absolute life out of me.
Well, that might get you to lift, Val, for the last few moments of this contest.
Oh, we are lifting. Sits at 2 to Gail Thow as she fires down her penultimate bowl of the contest. This is it. There's 2 left. We're not going to get to 21. This is wide.
It's her penultimate bowl of her Australian singles campaign
Yes.
too for this year. We know that neither of these players will progress from the section. They're doing this for pride. Joe Franzi's been asked to give an assessment.
2 to Gail. CP, this is it. If she misses...
If she misses, Gail won't be
Yes.
rolling her last
No.
bowl.
So here we go. Everyone quiets down.
Yeah, you can cut the tension with a knife, can't you?
Oh, she's come up to
And
have
she's
a
going to
look.
go and have a look. Look, as she's entitled to, when it's
Yep.
when it's as important as this. Now, we know that there's not going to be... The winner won't progress from the section, but when it's as important to this as it is to both these players, we've seen that they have taken this game, they've treated this game as though it really does mean something to them. And so CP Young has gone, she's had a really good look. She knows her last bowl, I've got a metre to draw. I've got to get past, get down, put one right next to Jack, make Gail Thow bowl her last bowl.
Yes.
You know, if you lose on the last bowl, we'll say, but make Gail Thow play that last shot.
Ask the question. Here we go. Is this it? On its way now. What has CP got? She can only watch now. The line is tracking. The line is tracking. What she found, she's found the gap. You are kidding. She has found the gap. And we will be shaking hands, I believe. They're just going to have a look. Gail believes it's 2 to her. They do shake hands. What a valiant effort from CP. But the win ultimately goes to Tasmania's Gail Thow in what was one of the most pulsating contests of the 2023 Australian Open so far. We hope you enjoyed it at home. Nick Hind, I hope you enjoyed it, my friend.
Thank you so much, Val. Thank you to everybody who's joined us the last few days. I'm going to be signing off, but I'm sure you'll have plenty of great friends to join you on Rinkside Live in the rest of
the campaign.
Certainly will, but thank you very much for your efforts, mate. You've been sensational for the last 3 days, so I appreciate you sitting here with me, and Kyle Langley as well. But brilliantly done to you, brilliantly done to Lachlan Williams in the vision switching chair. He's done a power of work over the first week so far, and brilliantly done to Gail Thow, who got the job done 2018 at the end of this contest. We got timed out, but it was as pulsating and as nerve-wracking as it could possibly get, and also big thank you to Apia for supporting the Australian Open, and Tourism and Events Queensland and Major Events Gold Coast for helping us put on this event, because it has proven to be spectacular yet again. Day 6 coming tomorrow from 9 a.m. The streaming will be up, or the streaming schedule will be up on Bowls Australia's Facebook page later tonight, so do tune in. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's been Val Febo and Nick Hind. Good night.